hop on. I want to hear everybody's takeaways or favorite moments.
Yes, definitely. I know probably a lot of us are still trying to like catch up, and we all want to earn that remarkable and get our six. And it's St. Patrick's Day, so it's a good time to run a special. And
yep. I know. So, I was just sitting there thinking I haven't even started packing for skiing.
When are y'all leaving?
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I do not like Leaders Retreat in March.
Yeah. Rather have it in the fall, like we
yes.
Yeah.
Well, and just the crowds, that was just ridiculous. The airport and all that, and the weather.
Yeah, the weather was really so.
All right. Thanks for everybody for getting on, and I'm sure people will trickle in. So we're just gonna couple of things. Who all has a awesome special or post that's getting a lot of engagement for St. Patrick's Day? Anybody got any of that going? I put one up, but so far just Plexus people are commenting.
I've put one up, but I just put it up not very long ago. And I figure more people will look at it tonight. So in our little chat to bump post, I'm going to ask, a little bit more towards the evening for those.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I'll look at it real quick and see if it's gotten any responses yet. It's my grandson's birthday today. So
awesome.
It's always good when we're having a special to post something personal that, there'll be interaction on that, and they'll see your other posts too. So.
Anybody else doing anything related to St. Patrick's Day post today? Anybody going to who hasn't? And I find those are real hit and miss. Sometimes I get nothing. And then last time I got 2 VIPs and an ambassador who restarted. Just random. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Random.
Well, and see, that's why I'm hesitating today, because the last time I did, I got nothing. And it's almost like embarrassing. So I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, it's hard to know.
Are you in the support thread where we ask for comments?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, still, if non-Plexus people aren't commenting either, then I can't really pick a winner if nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I get it. I thought you meant like nobody commented. Yeah. Well,
it was mostly just Plexus, and I'm like, okay, well,
in that case, you reach out to one of your Sideline sisters, say, go comment. I'm going to say you win, but guess what? You don't. Psych.
Right.
What I'm doing with mine, because I did not have any takers the last couple of times I did that I was giving away something Plexus. So last time that went real well, as I said, I was giving away a goodie bag of some of my favorite things, which there were some things that weren't Plexus, but I also did a couple of samples. And then like this one, I'm doing a Target gift card. So I'm hoping more people will engage since it's Target. Then the people who don't earn it or win, I actually put my response in the thread. I'm just reaching back out, thank you so much for participating. That was so much fun. Sorry you didn't win, but there's another chance to get a Target discount or gift card. I'm hosting last time I did a share the love because it was February. This time I'll do a health, health and immune system chat and invite them to a 15-minute chat. And that's where I actually got the 2 VIPs was from the 15-minute chat event. So just a way to generate. And I think I only had 4 in there, but I thought getting 2 out of that was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, you just never know.
Right.
So. Right. All right, so let's go a round table of who was at Leaders Retreat, and you're going to give your biggest takeaway. And y'all feel free to turn your cameras on. I'm sitting here with no makeup and sweaty hair. For those of you who don't have your cameras on.
And you still look beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
I think that was geared towards me because I was the only one that didn't have it on.
Oh no, Tina's is off, Lexi's is off, Cindy's was off, Darlene's is off. You're not the only one.
I actually forgot it was on. I thought it was on.
And Tina,
actually.
you've done your hair today even. All
No, I
right.
haven't done my hair today.
Well, it doesn't look bad.
Okay, thanks.
Lexi, look at those babies. Cute. All right. So I'll just go around. I know Lisa Winecoop, you were there. What was your favorite, either favorite speaker, biggest takeaway, something from Leaders Retreat that was just
I just
awesome.
realized I didn't have myself muted. I hope I just wasn't making a bunch of noise. I'm sorry.
You weren't.
Let me think. Okay, so I think first and foremost was just being there. I think after 2 years, it just felt so good. And just the love and meeting everybody in person was amazing. As far as speakers or things that we learned, I think my favorite thing actually was one I wasn't expecting it to be, which was the guy from Chick-fil-A, David Saylors. Is that his last name? Like, I was like, yeah, whatever, another motivational speaker, but I got so much out of him. Just really like cementing the idea of, customer service and what Chick-fil-A does and why they've been so successful and how they've been so successful. And I won't go into details, but one of the things I'll share that I thought was fascinating was that he gave the statistics from 2019, which was the last year that we had normalcy, and said that the average fast food chain brought in about $700,000 that year. McDonald's, their average was 4.2 million, I believe. And Chick-fil-A was 52 less days a year. And he said that Sundays are the most busiest days for fast foods, which I thought was
Most profitable. Yeah.
Most profitable, that they brought in $7 million. I mean, it's just so really what they do works, and that the model should be followed and celebrated. And I really loved everything that he spoke about, everything. So yeah, I think that was probably my favorite. Of course, I loved the 2 parties and the winners reception and all of that. They just always go above and beyond. And it was really a good weekend. I appreciate everyone who was there. I'll take 2 seconds to just say that, and then I'll be quiet. I almost didn't go because no one on my team or my larger team earned it. And then at the last minute, my husband backed out because our son has some health issues and he didn't want to be that far away. So when he backed out, I was like, maybe I'll just stay home, because I didn't know anybody. And I'm telling you,
yes,
you especially, God bless you. Well, I know, but I didn't know you personally. But Nan and Darlene swooped in, and everybody else was so wonderful. And I was never alone. Like, it was amazing. And I love you guys so much. It was really, because I was a little nervous about being away and my son not being, doing really, really well just yet. And you guys were such a godsend. So I appreciate you all and love you. So
we're glad you came.
Listen to you guys.
You glad you came. It was
Thank you.
awesome. Nan, you're next on my screen.
Oh, mercy. Let's see here. So much good stuff. I mean, you can't top the Chick-fil-A guy.
It's awesome.
What validated for me, I guess probably the big takeaway for me is I'm exactly where God wants me to be, because I have a strong passion for people. I love people well, and I'm an encourager. And I heard that loudly over the whole 3 days we were there. And so that really blessed me. Just reaffirming our community is fabulous. It's just amazing to think that we've been looking at each other through these kind of eyes for the last 2 years, and then can actually meet up and just feel like family. I mean, it was just, I don't know, just incredible feeling. But yeah, and then just to think about how Plexus constantly is trying to find ways for us to be successful. I mean, it's like not just as a customer as far as the best products that they put out, but just training us to be the best leaders and the way to do it and to do it right. And just, reaffirming that Carl and Alec are awesome men that are leading this ship in the right direction. And I'm just, my cup's overflowing. I didn't do my live in my page till today because I'm like, I've been speechless. I mean, I just really just could not come up with the words. And that's very rare for me because I always got some kind of words. And it was just hard for me to put it all together. I'm just overwhelmed with just blessings after blessings after blessings, way more than I deserve.
Awesome. Jill?
Hi. So this was my 5th leaders retreat, and I love the Chick-fil-A guy. I feel like that's one of the things that I love about Plexus, that I feel like it's different. And I think because, yeah, I don't know, for you, those of you that weren't there, he had this analogy where he put a dollar bill on his forehead, and he said, you know, some other companies, that's all, like, that's what they look at. They see all their people as people with dollar bills on their head. Like, you're going to make me money. I want to sign you because you're going to make me money. And then it's going to build my business. Kind of like it's all of a selfish thing. But he said, you know, the Chick-fil-A, if you guys haven't seen the Chick-fil-A video about what they give to other people, and they said that, you know, Chick-fil-A is like a leadership academy disguised as a fast food restaurant. Because most of the people are all, you know, high school kids, right? And they want to be able to invest in, like, I don't know, invest in them and help them be great leaders and help them to see that it's more about the money. Like, and this video talks about how when you see all the people, the customers in the restaurant, it has little like words that says, you know, this person just found out that she has cancer. This person, you know, all these things, like all these like heavy issues, these people, this person just got a divorce. This person has been abused by their husband. Like, I don't know, just all sorts of like really awful things, and how you're there to serve them and to help them kind of meet them where they are and just love them anyway, or love them while they're there. And I feel like that's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about Plexus, is that I think the majority of people in Plexus, that's their thing. Like, they're not out, of course we make money, right, when we share with people and whatever, but that's not the primary focus. The primary focus is we're helpers, right? I mean, we want to help people. And that's why a lot of us didn't start for the business at all, but we ended up in the business because we realized how great we feel, and we realize how great other people can feel. And so we want to help other people. And so I loved looking around and seeing all the different people, like different ages, from like young, you know, the young, like 18-year-olds up to like, I don't even know how old the oldest person was, like in their 70s or 80s, it was there. Different sizes, different nationalities, from different backgrounds. And I just loved that this company is not a cookie cutter. So if you think you can't do it because you're not like the other person, that's a complete lie. And then just reinforced to me how much this little mind space is so vital to figure out what it is that's holding you back. This whole business is a mind game, right? If you can just keep going, if you don't give up, you'll be successful. And so I just loved all of that. So I don't know. That's my thing, I guess.
Perfect. That's you pretty much took my words out. That was kind of what I got for him, is really trying to, and I do, but in times, especially, I mean, like trying to earn something or that, it's easy to forget that our goal is to help people and to see people more of how can we bless them and help them on this journey, not what I can get from them. Tina.
Hey, everybody. So you guys touched on a lot of the great stuff that also was great for me. For me, probably personally, it was a spirit-filled rejuvenation, coming back to living life kind of a thing for me. My family and, you know, our family's been really hunkered down for the last couple of years. Our older daughter, you know, is on an immunosuppressant. And so we've taken a lot of extra precautions. And so I worked really hard to earn it. And I mean, really up to the last day, which was just crazy. And then after I earned it, I was like, I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I feel safe to go to something this large around this many people, to go to an airport, to fly, and all of that. So kind of waited till probably 2 weeks before, till I was like actually truly committed to buy the airline tickets and go. And just prayed, lots of prayer, lots and lots of prayer, and lots of reading about fear, how God doesn't want us to fear things, and just really claiming that for my life and for our family. So
We love you. You sweet quiet crier.
I'm not a crier actually, but this, yeah, it's definitely made me a crying person. And even one of my uplines said, it's so good to see you just showing your emotions and being vulnerable. And because she never sees that with me ever. And she's just like, wow. Seeing everybody, hugging everybody. There were some moments where I'd get a little bit worried, but then it would pretty much subside pretty quickly. And so I felt pretty at peace, really, you know, being there and just super happy. And I told my younger daughter, I said, you know how it felt when you went back to school in the fall, to see your friends, to be back to kind of normal? And she said, yeah, it felt so good. And I said, that is exactly how mommy feels right now, because I haven't been going to coffee with friends and things like that. I haven't been doing things, and I was losing myself. So this just filled my cup. And, you know, seeing you guys here, it's like, I know that you care, but seeing everybody in person is so different, because I felt that everybody truly does care. And so it's just, it's so much more. I can't even put it into words for you guys. It's just a really huge rejuvenation of my life. It just revived me. It makes me feel alive, I guess.
Awesome.
And you know, to know that I'm in a great company, it just solidifies that, you know, seeing the company, what they do for us, the speakers, the personal growth, the, you know, Alec and Tarl going around hugging people's kids. Oh, it's just like, you just kind of had this family environment. Everywhere I went, I felt like family environment, and people so happy to see each other. And I know I'm not the only one that's like, hasn't felt normalcy for 2 years. I mean, I know everybody at some extent has felt that. And so to have this in-person event for the first time, there were a lot of people feeling a lot of similar things, like, we're finally together, we're finally in person, we're finally at an actual Plexus event, not just little pods of teams getting together, you know, at some city somewhere. So I know so many people were just walking around so happy to just see each other and hug each other. It was just amazing. So for me, the community, just
Awesome. Thank you. Darlene.
Oh, so yeah. For me, the Chick-fil-A talk, talking about perspective, my word for the year is bold. And I've really been working on just, you know, seeing those areas where I can be more bold. A lot of the feedback that people give me about my personality is, oh, she's so sweet. And thank you. I love that. And I am. But the opposite of that can be not being bold enough when I need to be. And so this event, going to Leaders Retreat, you know, I feel the same way as Nan and Tina described. I was off a few minutes, so I missed a little bit. Somebody came to the door, but I'm sure that I feel the sentiments that have already been expressed. But to add anything here, and Jill, I loved what Jill said too, is for me, it really fed my word of the year to be bold. And I loved what some of the last speakers said. Tamara Holloway was there. I loved getting to see her. Emily Burgess, they shared the stage and they talked about power partners and getting with who is in alignment with your goals, where you're going. And it just really confirmed that what we're doing here in Sideline Strong is we're working together, as we're doing events together, as we're doing messenger events, doing the Ease and Nerve event with Kylie, like all the things that we're doing. I know some of us have paired up to do some, just little IPA times or just encouragement times. All of that is spot on. And now that I've seen that, the red Kia on the road analogy, then I'm seeing more other confirmations of power partner things too. And so it's just really encouraging to feel after being at Leaders Retreat that I'm on track and see areas also that I can improve in. It's a matter of perspective. That I can reach my next rank goal. And it is about loving on people, and that is who I am, and that's exactly the right way to be. So
Awesome. Nicole.
Hey ladies. So this leaders retreat was, well, I've only been on one. I've earned two. The one was virtual. The last one I earned was the cruise. But like between all of the conventions and this leaders retreat, this one was different for me because I got to bring my daughter, who's only in kindergarten, and I decided to kind of take the family first approach to this one and just kind of immerse myself in whatever she wants to do. And let's do it from the viewpoint of my daughter, Ruby, So we wanted to start our trip with Disney, not Plexus event. I've been dreaming of bringing her to a Plexus event, more like Hawaii dreaming, but also just to bring her to any event because I knew she would have so much fun at the parties, just to see what it's really like, to see what company mommy is with, like what this is really like. Like she's seen the videos, she's seen the team calls, she sees what I do at home, but it's totally different whenever you can bring your kid to a real life event. And even just as an adult, like if you are watching this and you weren't there this weekend, or you've never been to a corporate event, people are not kidding when they say it's like, it just changes everything. Every time you go to an event, you leave like, I don't want to say a different person, but a better person. You feel your cup is filled, you're emotional. Like Tina said, she's not an emotional person normally, and you're crying. I never know why I wear mascara to the sessions. I'm always crying at some point and blotting with tissues. And at one point I was like bawling my eyes out several points. When Daniel Waller did his story about being in prison, that story really connected to me because we have, a family member that has had a similar situation. And so like, just really connected to me. And it's also connection and part of what my husband does with this podcast. So that really hit me, as well as watching the Chick-fil-A movie about the daddy-daughter thing, just about the daddy-daughter dates that Chick-fil-A does. And one of the points, and what's his name? David Salyers, right? Yeah. One of the points he talked about was like, all my competitors are doing 99-cent kids meals. Is that the best value we can bring? How is that the best way we can bring value to people? Some people think of value like a value meal, value fries, right? 99-cent value meal. But Chick-fil-A did it different. How can we literally bring value to people? So they're just exponentially bringing value instead of like just cutting the prices, So sometimes we're always, sharing sales and stuff like that. And that's great. But I think it just brought me back to like the thing of like, you don't need to cheapen your products to add more value and make something more valuable to someone. So I just loved that. And that made me cry my eyes out watching him, sharing that video. with how many things they did. Like they put roses on the tables. They had a limo that was driving the dads and daughters to the store. They did photos. It was just amazing. So anyways, it just really puts things in perspective with how we share and how we can add value to people. So I'll just highlight some of my notes too. The 80-20 rule, 20% of your input is going to create 80% of your output. And the 20% that we have, the extra 20% that we're giving, the extra 20% that we have on other companies is basically our advantage. So, a lot of what he talked about reminded me of like my previous jobs, because I've worked in restaurants my whole life. So his analogy is really related to me. And I was a manager at Red Lobster for a while, and our philosophy was a lot about the guest experience. We're all about the guest. And, on a different level, and just like Chick-fil-A, it's kind of a casual, place to go to. But on the service side point of it, we really did focus a lot about the guest experience. The last one I worked at, we opened this restaurant. I helped hire the team. We did all the training and stuff. It was so much fun. But so much of it was just focused on the guests. And I can remember one of the extra things that we did was when it was raining, we had extra people on staff that day just to go out and bring umbrellas. While people were walking in from their cars, we would walk over with an umbrella and walk them to the door and then walk them out to their car with an umbrella if they didn't have one. Opening the doors just for them, just super welcoming. I could go on with so many different things, but a lot of what he was saying was kind of relating to me and just reminding me, like, we need to do those little things as a Plexus sponsor, as a team leader, not just for our customers, but also for our business builders and our team. What are those extra little things we can do? And I also worked in a fine dining steakhouse, and we had this thing that what we called was edge. What's your edge? What kind of edge can we have on other restaurants? Not just to be better and be the best, but like, of course, you want people coming back to you. And like, I think David Salyers had said, you want to create fans, not just customers. I think that's what he said. Instead of creating a sale, we're not just creating a sale, we're creating a fan. Because if you're creating a sale, it's a one-time thing. But when you're creating someone that's a fan, that is like in love with what we have, what we do, the whole community aspect of it, that's when you have a customer for life, not just a one-time sale. And that's the kind of customer that's going to be referring other people and multiplying your business for you, right? So, like with the edge stuff, like one of the things that we did as a server in a fine dining restaurant, we were writing cards to our customers. We would exchange business cards. As a server, we had a business card. I'd exchange mine with my customer, and I'd get their business card, and I'd write them notes at the end of my shift. We all had to write at least one note to somebody. So we'd thank them. We'd thank them for dining with us, for choosing us. I might mention something personal that I remembered from their experience. And then they remember that. They're like, wow, she took the time to write me a note and actually remembered what I ordered in hopes that I'm going to come back again. So then they're going to come back in the door and they're going to ask for me. So I'd have specific people that literally would not sit with anybody else but me. We all had them. We all had our regular customers, because when you do those little edge things, it's so much different than just putting up a post and getting a sale on your pink drink, than actually creating this extra value for people. So anyways, I just really related to that. And some of the things that he highlighted, he had this graphic up on the screen, and it would say what a normal company does and what a remarkable company does. A normal company wants to get rich. A remarkable company wants to be rich towards people, not just be rich like with money, but be rich toward other people. So we're helping other people feel rich. A normal company extracts value from people. A remarkable one creates value for people. A normal company, says we have to do this. A remarkable company says we get to do this, which is similar to what I had posted about on Facebook today. Was kind of the theme of my Facebook post. A normal company wants to make a dollar. A remarkable company wants to make a difference. I love that one. And I think I'll probably use that for like a post idea in the future too, because it's just like, yes, that's what we do. We're so different than other companies. It's not just about a sale, about a dollar, about a PV or whatever. It's literally about making a difference. And like those testimonies that we create by the lives that we touch, just when we're posting and other people come to us and say, could this really help me? Or I see myself in that story. That's when, like we're literally making an impact. That person tries triplex, has a remarkable testimony come out of it. If I never posted, if I never shared, this person wouldn't be feeling better. And we have to remember, like, we are here to make a difference for people, not just a dollar. What else? Oh, like just the goal is to improve the story for those that we do business with. I love that. Like I just circled it and wrote it down and highlighted it because it just, I don't know why that impacted me. Our goal is to improve the story for those that we do business with. Again, not just making a sale, and leadership is not a job. It's a privilege. And a lot of it was just about who can I lift up, servant leadership. Who can I help today? Who can I add value today? Personal growth. And I just love how our trainings, they're not like all these sales trainings. Like, here's how we can get someone to buy a 209 welcome pack versus a 109, or here's how we can get people to purchase add-on things, or here's how, it's all about like, they want us to grow as a person professionally, personally, as a leader, and just lifting up others was just a huge theme. And so anyways, I really enjoyed this weekend, and I know I didn't really get to spend a ton of time with all of you, which I was honestly like really disappointed in, but I got to meet a lot of you real quick and hug some of you, and it was really nice. And I'm also just glad though that I did do it the way I did this time, was really just focusing on my daughter, because I didn't want to be like, all right, we're here and now I'm going to go leave and go hang with everybody, and then she's just going to be bored. And I really wanted to spend as much time as I could with her. So I'm so glad I got to do that. And when we got to, we went to Magic Kingdom, and just seeing my daughter see Disney for the first time, and just her expression of just, wow, like she could not believe when she saw the castle. That was so worth it. And I reminded her later that day, Ruby, do you remember all those times I was working so hard? And she would even say, Mommy, work hard, keep working hard. Get some new ambassadors. We got to go to Disney. She knew the goal of my working was so we can go on this trip. And she said, yeah, Mommy, I remember. Thank you. She said, thank you. And she said, you did such good work, Mommy. So I wanted her to know, like, this was impacted by Plexus, us going on this trip. And so, taking her to the welcome reception, as soon as we walked in, and I didn't even expect to talk to or see Tarl and Alec in person myself there. I mean, we walk in, we pass by a couple people, and within less than a minute, a few seconds, we see Tarl and Alec. They were talking to other people in two different groups. I just watched them like put down their drink, walk over to us, and get down on on one knee so that they could be at my daughter's level. I was with my sponsor, or not my sponsor, my upline friend, Amy Welch, and her daughter. And I had met, I've been with Amy a bunch of, Amy and I know each other well, but like I had met her daughter once, but our daughters had actually never met before. Her daughter's 8, mine's 6. So that was also super awesome for those two they've seen each other virtually a little bit, but to see them actually meet and like, connect and become friends. And they were just hanging on each other, hugging on each other all weekend. It was amazing. And so they walk in, and Tarl and Alec come over and just introduce themselves. And actually, they didn't introduce themselves. They said hello and asked them their names. They got down on their level. They asked them if they were going to Disney and asked them about their plans to go to Disney, and just chatted with them, and just took 5 minutes of their time to talk to these little kids. And I just was like, wow, that really shows you the character of our company and our executives. And they really care. And like Tina was saying, and everybody, like, it's just a family environment. and we walked in. We had the best time. She had like the best time of her life at the party, dancing in front of the stage the whole night. She couldn't wait to go back again, and just the farewell party was also amazing to bring her to. So anyways, it was a really awesome experience bringing her. And my husband tagged along, but he wasn't my guest this time. So he didn't get to get all these trainings, and I still have to update him on everything, fill him in on everything, because he's really interested, because usually he likes to learn at the leaders retreat and stuff. So anyways, those are my takeaways.
It's
Oh,
awesome.
and one more thing I wanted to say too was as we were kind of finishing our trip, we still had an extra day as a lot of you guys were leaving town, and we ended up doing one more day at Disney. I had Darlene had commented on something or messaged me about something, and it made me think like, oh gosh, like I really wish I had more one-on-one time with these Sideline sisters, and it's kind of disappointed. And then I'm walking down the hall to go get, getting coffee or something so we could get started on our last day of Disney, and I run into Darlene, and it felt like a godsend, like I just asked for more time. I just wished that I had more time. And there I got to have a little conversation with her before I headed out. And it was awesome. So I'm so glad we got to connect a little bit more before I left.
That's great. And we will all spend more time together at convention.
Yes, definitely. And I'll be
awesome.
kid free.
Yes. So Lisa Johnson, are you where you can chat?
Yes, I am. Hi,
Yay.
guys. It was so nice to meet all of you that were there. It was such a privilege. It's been really interesting because I have been, I don't know, since July kind of feeling like working, but not really. I don't know, something's been off. And it was so nice to go to Leaders Retreat and to see all you women and men and just hug you and be there. And I don't feel like I spent a ton of time with each of you. I also brought my daughter, but just being there and knowing you were there, and I just meant the world to me. I brought my 16-year-old daughter, and I brought her. I've gone. This is my 4th Leaders Retreat. I brought my husband to 2, and last year was virtual, and he couldn't come. And I have 3 kids. Campbell's my middle, and she likes to travel. And I wanted her to kind of see the Plexus culture. She's not actually all for Plexus. She doesn't like I opened the drink and she's like, oh, I don't like the powder, and what else. She's 16. So I wanted her to just get a different opinion, and she loved it. We had made an arrangement that she would come to all the speakers, and everything that mommy went to, she would come, or mom, I shouldn't call me mommy. And then Jill brought her daughter Hope, and they were childhood friends. They knew when they were 8. And so they reconnected too. So it was sweet because they could spend time together, but Campbell got to see different things and hear about leadership and things that they don't necessarily teach in public school, which I loved because she sees me working. One of the things that I really liked, I wrote down some things. Michelle Sturgill had said, this is a leaders retreat, not a sales retreat. Mm-hmm. And I really liked that because it wasn't about how to sell. It was really more about how we should lead people. And even if we have one person, even if we don't have any people on our team, it's as a mom or a woman or a man, you have people that look up to you, and that's what makes a leader. And I loved that. Another just comment someone made, I think it was Alec actually. He said, friends are the rare person who asks how you are and waits for the answer. Mm-hmm. And I wrote that down because that was really impactful, because I think how many times I walk by and say, hey, how you doing? And in passing, and so if I really want to be someone who someone considers a friend, I need to stop and listen. And that's for all aspects of my life, and not just be fast in the here and now. And, we all have a million things going on, but if we stop and listen, then we're really going to have connection, and otherwise we're not. So that was impactful. Daniel Waller, who was the one who went from prison to Plexus that Nicole mentioned, he said, when you change your mind, you change your reality. And that was really impactful because like I said, I've been struggling since July, and I know it's a lots of thoughts, and I actually do thought coaching with Emily Gibson. And that's been really helpful, but it's helping more and more just reinforce I'm not alone. And I think that's one of the things that I loved, just being together and having small conversations with so many of you, is we've all have our struggles and we can all overcome them. And so I thought that was really great. Krista Deary, I had never heard of, knew nothing about her at all, and absolutely fell in love with her. Like, I was blown away. Some of the things I loved, she started out talking about, for those who aren't here, I don't know if you guys talked about her at all yet. Okay, because I came on a few minutes late. She started by talking about her son and how he might not survive. And a lady who came in to clean her room while she was in the hospital told her not to cry, but to pray. Don't cry, pray. And how profound the effects of that one statement was, and how that woman has stayed with her all these years. I think her son is 8 or 10, and how now she's sharing to thousands of, or hundreds of, I don't know, I think there's 1,500 people, but there might have been more, plus guests. So 3,000 people there, and how that one lady cleaning the room has impacted so many people. And now we're talking about that story and sharing it with others. And it made me think, and even now as I'm sharing, how our words matter and how we can affect so much change, and we can use our words for positive or negative change. And again, by being a leader. Some of the things she mentioned that were qualities of a leader I loved. She talked about being humble, and ask yourself what kind of leader you want to be. Being one of servanthood, who's steady and reliable, consistent. And a consistent both means in doing your work, but also in your temperament, your belief in your people, your products, and the community. And then she just said, ask what you want to take away from this leaders retreat and take to my team. So those are some of the things. It was such a good weekend. I mean, I love seeing you guys. It was interesting. I'm so glad Campbell came with me. I mean, what a privilege. She loved the parties. She loved the first day of the speakers. She liked them shorter, than longer. You know, her attention span got kind of bored after a while, but she really liked Sunday speakers, as I did. And I just thought they were so powerful and profound. And it was fun seeing you guys. It was also fun just seeing, a little starstruck with some of the people that I follow, and be able to either ask for pictures together or say hello to. So it was amazing. And but you do have to work. I mean, it doesn't come easy. So I was so glad to meet all of you in person and give you hugs.
Awesome. Yeah, I will try to find, we actually met Krista and her husband pretty early on in our Plexus journey, and kind of know a lot of their story. We'll try to find one of her video where she really shares, I mean, from food stamps to she walked out the door and her husband didn't think he'd ever see her again. I mean, their whole story is just talk about life changing. I mean, she left right after Judah's brain bleed. She just was depressed and didn't want to live. I mean, it's amazing. So I have to find that. But yeah, and I don't know if you follow her. Of course, we're Facebook friends, and she did a post the other day. She has been, I mean, pretty much in a panic for 2 months ever since they asked her to talk. I mean, beyond, sick to her stomach, anxious, but knew she needed to do this. And she said, like, just a few days before, she'd been praying, God, take this anxiety away, take this fear away, take this away, but kept focusing, going, I've got to do this. And she said, I don't remember if it was a couple of days before or a few hours. She said, all of a sudden, she just was at peace. And she just went out and she had and like going, oh my gosh, because that was we sit there and think, oh, those women, oh, I could never do that. No, that's their thoughts. They didn't think they'd ever be able to do this, even as diamonds aren't sure they can do it and are scared. But that, God gives them the grace and gives them the ability to do things they never thought they could do. So I know I struggle with that and go, oh, I could never do that. Or, oh, it's like, no, sometimes we have to do the hard things. Okay.
Well, it's funny because I kept running into her, but not realizing it was her. And I'd be like, are you a diamond? What's your name? And then, I mean, I think I asked her twice. Like I was like drawn to her. And I did send her a friend request, but it was like, I guess God really wanted me to know more about her because she accepted my friend request, which surprised me because, diamonds don't accept anyone. I was like, God wants me to be like, know this woman.
And she is truly one of the sweetest people you will ever meet. I mean, like just the sweetest. Okay. I think, the last two people that I know on here were at Leaders Retreat. One was in our peer coaching and had to kind of drop off from life in his bag. She's actually one of my real Sideline sisters. We share an Emerald upline. Kim Winschlag, can you share a little bit about your favorite takeaway?
I can, and thank you for welcoming me back. Life hit home pretty hard the last 6 months here, and I am a crier no matter what. So I'll just get that out there, just out in the open. I will cry. I will cry for you. I will cry with you. I will cry all by myself. But this was my 7th Leaders Retreat to attend, but it was my 2nd Leaders Retreat to go to as a guest. So when I say life hits, I took this last 6 months to a year and really focused on my mom, and so the business, I was a little, you kind of get that, you get a different lanyard. It's a different color. It says guest on it, and I'm like, oh gosh, so I went in with that nonsense in my head at first.
Head trash.
Yes. But then I'm like, you know what? No, gosh darn it. I am here. And when the gentleman said he went from prison to Plexus to prosperity, I'm like, you know what? We have gone from pandemic to Plexus back to prosperity. So in one way or another, the pandemic has definitely affected each and every one of us, mentally, emotionally, working from computer, the kitchen table, wherever and whatever. So to me, just being back in person, I told Lindsay, I said, you know what, this makes it be real to me again. It's not just my notebook. It's not just my daily IPAs. It's not just a messenger event or whatnot. It brought it back to these are my people. This is my company. This is why I'm doing what I do. And I ditto every single thing that everyone's already said. The Chick-fil-A gentleman, the gentleman from prison, all of the speakers. So I'm like, I was going to say that. But one tip that I took away was, business-wise, was to track my contacts. Mm-hmm. I don't remember who said it. I couldn't tell you for the life of me. All I know is that it was on 3/14 because I wrote the date. And that was just something that I'm like, you know what, we have 2,000 some friends on social media. We have this many, people on Instagram. I've connected with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, but I don't have any organization for contacts. And my messenger feed is just, I can scroll and scroll and scroll for days to get to, there is no end. I'm not an Excel person. I hate it. I'm more of a pen and paper person. But I believe they mentioned spreadsheets at some point to print out your genealogy, print out the people that you're friends with Facebook on, and literally keep track of when you talk to them, what you talk to them about, even if it was just a happy birthday or, whatnot, so that you can go back and revisit that. Another thing that I noticed that kind of hit home with me was, I don't have a dollar bill on my forehead. And I know that so often over the years, especially when there's some sort of prize or a trip or convention or leaders retreat, when there's something to reward us, I tend to just go all in. You need to buy this and you need to buy that and you need that and you need this. But ultimately it's coming back on what I want. I'm like, ugh, that stings. And we visited with Jody Snodgrass, who is an Emerald here in Missouri. And we talked with her, and she said something. She says, you know what, even those people that simply buy the probiotic, we are changing their story. So for me, I took away, I don't have to sell, and this may be completely out of what everybody else thinks, but I'm like, I don't have to come to you with a 209 welcome pack. I can come to you with a probiotic. And if that's going to change your story, if that's going to change how they live every single day, then that's what I'm supposed to be doing. God provides, God will continue to provide. I'm exactly where he knew I was going to be 7 years in. I'm where he knew I was going to be, and thankfully blessed with that time to have been able to take this last 6 months to a year and really go, where my family needed me to be. And he held tight my business. He held my paycheck. He held that together while I did what I needed to do in order to get through and then come back. Mm-hmm. So that's what I took away. It's okay to go as a guest. Yep. It's okay to go as a guest.
Hey, it's better than not being there. I'm glad you came.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, this next lady, and Jill, I know you had just added a lady, Jacqueline, and I introduced myself to her at the very beginning and probably should have welcomed her, but she had to hop off for work. Lexi is, I don't even know how we became Facebook friends, but she is we were in the other peer coaching group. That's what it was. We were in the other peer coaching group together. But anyway, we reconnected at Leaders Retreat, and we're just chatting about how amazing this group is and all that we are doing, business focused. So I have invited her to our group, and she is agreed to give us some of her takeaways from Leaders Retreat. Over her kids in the room. So
yeah,
we all understand.
Here, and it's almost nap time. So I'm going to try. We're going to hopefully cooperate here.
Okay.
It might be a little short. Hi friends. I'm so excited to be back in this. We were in another peer coaching group together that was pretty good. It was pretty good. But the way that Karen talked about this one, pretty sure I asked if you had seats saved. And so we started chatting for just a second. And you were like, oh my gosh, peer coaching. And I was like, what in the world? We still have peer coaching? Like, get me back in that. I don't know how I missed it. Hey, hold on just a second. Give mommy 2 minutes. Okay. Okay. So I'm a Plexus long hauler. I've been with Plexus for 7.5 years. Plexus has seen me through, meeting my husband, getting married, having 2 babies. Now we're pregnant with our 3rd due in July. So it's a little bit chaotic over here. That's just my life right now. This was my 4th Leaders Retreat that I've earned, the 2nd that I have been able to attend, because I was too pregnant for the cruise and then COVID canceled the other one. So my husband actually earned this. He works the business with me, and he earned this trip also for the first time ever. So that was super exciting. And I also had a gal on my team who earned it. So this is my first Leaders Retreat that I've been able to take some people on my team with me. And that was so exciting. And one of my things, because you guys have literally touched on, I'm like, I have so much highlighted in my notes, and you guys just keep knocking them out left and right. And I'm like, okay, well, yay for going last. So One of the things that was so impactful for us when my gal my senior gold who went with us to Leaders Retreat, she brought her kids and her husband. Stay out there for just a second. Thank you. So that was like her thing. When it came out Disney, her kids have asked to go to Disney for so long. So when it came out that it was Disney, she was like, I'm coming and I'm taking my kids. And it's like, she was just a ball of tears the whole time. Her kids are 6 and 4. Hold on just a second. So we literally got to the Gaylord and we had starving children. So we went and sat down at Wreckers and ate. And I sat down and literally across the restaurant was Tarl and his fiance.
I think they're married now.
Are they married now? Why?
Mhm.
So and they didn't have their food yet. And I was like, oh, I hate to interrupt a meal, but hey, you go out for just a second. Mommy will be done in just a second. Okay, thank you. Oh Lord, they're 3 and 2 or 3.5 and 2. So they're a handful. So we saw him and I grabbed Lacey and Dylan is oh my word, what a chaotic time. Dylan is like my Instagram husband. Like I told him the whole time, I was like, here's my phone. You're just going to follow us around and snap all the pictures. And he's such a trooper. So I grabbed Lacey and we went around and we went and introduced ourselves to Tarl and it didn't even hit me as it happened. But the first thing that he said to her is, did you bring your family? Is this your first Leaders Retreat? Did you bring your family? Are your kids here? And she said, yes. And he said, are they so excited? Like I literally have chills. And so then he turned and he talked to me for a little bit and he kept asking questions. And we talked about how we're never going to go that long without a corporate plexus event ever again. And he was like, yeah, I agree. Like I could just feel, I was like, yeah, okay. I'm glad we're on the same page, Tarl. Cause like, we're not doing this again. But then we got back to our table and she just had tears streaming. And I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? What did I miss? What's going on? And she said, she is a trauma ICU nurse here in Nebraska. So she has a job that is, I mean, it's incredible and horrible all at the same time. But she is very dedicated to her job. She is not somebody who calls in sick. She's like the dream employee of a nurse and she has a hard job. And she said of all of the 12 years, I believe that she has been a frontline nurse through COVID, through everything. She said, I have never had an upper at my hospital ever ask me about my kids ever. The first time she ever met Tarl, that was the first thing he said. So then we were just a crying, sobbing mess. And it didn't even hit me in the moment because I didn't realize just the capacity of what it was doing for her. So then like I said, you guys were like checking off my notes. So the only other thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to go handle these children and put them to bed for nap time so I can work, is I had a chance to talk to Robin Sullivan and it was such a God thing. Like, and that's what somebody was saying. It was like God thing after God thing. Like we keep saying I couldn't have strung the beads of the weekend together better than it all happened. So we were going to talk to Robin or just snap a picture with her in this crowded area of people. And we turned around to talk to somebody else, maybe each other. And then we turned around and she was walking away and we were like, oh no, girl, you ain't getting away from us. So we went and chased her down the hallway to a more it was quiet. It was really just her and I, Lacey and I, and then Robin, and she had her girls with her. And so we stopped her and we asked if we could have a picture. And she was like, yes, like, tell me, is this your first time? How are you? Like, what do you think? What are your expectations? Have they been met? Have they been exceeded? And Lacey said, this is my first and it has been absolutely incredible. And she started crying and Robin turned to me and I said, this is my 4th that I've earned, 2nd that I have been able to attend. Hey, quit knocking for just a second because mommy's almost done. Thank you. I said, this is my 4th that I've earned, 2nd that I've been able to attend. I've been with Plexus for 7.5 years. And she looked me in the eyes and she said, I don't know if you're all familiar with Robin Sullivan's story, how she's a long hauler also. And she just said, you hang on and you ride this all the way to the top. She said, there's nothing that God did for me that he will not turn around and hold from you. He is going to come through for you and you're going to take this all the way. She said, I don't care what naysayers you have, whether it's a husband, a friend, family, whoever it is. She said, I've seen them all. She said, it doesn't matter. You don't let them hold you back. She said, you are going to take this all the way because this is where it's at. And I just like those little conversations that I never would have ever had with her ever without this in-person event. I mean, it was just Like, I feel like all I did was go through Kleenexes. You're welcome,
Yeah.
Kleenex company, because we were blowing through them. It was so emotional and so incredible.
Yep.
Thank you for
Awesome.
letting me share. Sorry. it was
Thank
a-
you for sharing. Hey, we get to do this with kids underfoot.
Hearing
All right,
that,
so
I want to share something real quick. Hearing that and all of these things, I want us all to take a moment when we get off of here and just imagine that's going to be us on that side one day.
Mhm.
And think about Robin's words and how much they meant to Lexi. And we can do that now. We can do that with our team now. Be that encourager, be that person that puts belief in them, and know that and envision ourselves after this call. I just want everyone to close your eyes and envision it. We will be there. We will be the people that, oh gosh, we got to go down here and get with Tina. We got to talk to her. We got to go over here. We got to get Lisa. We are going to be that next group of people. And what I think God just put on my heart was that where we are now, we are being formed and grown to be ready for that place.
Mhm.
Can I
Yep.
say something really, really fast? Because I have to jump off.
Yeah.
Is everybody in this group, were you all with the Ryan group, or are there other people? How many people?
Some were with Ryan and some were with Jake. Like Lexi and I were on
Okay.
Jake's team. Jake's call.
Okay. Well, I was talking to Ryan last week and he asked if I would take a picture of our group because he misses us and we're going to Zoom this week. So I told him we would. But I thought it'd be even better if we just did a quick hi Ryan video. Like I'll do it with my phone and then I can send that to him before we talk on Wednesday. So does that work okay?
Sure.
We should have all made signs.
Everybody
you know, and been
unmute. Yeah.
everybody unmute and I'm getting the phone going. And we'll do a quick hi Ryan video and then I'll send that to him. Okay.
Awesome.
Ready? 1, 2.
Hey,
Ryan.
We miss you.
We miss you, buddy.
We miss you.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to hang on, but I will probably have to jump off in a second when a phone call comes in, but I wanted to get that in case I missed and got the phone call. But this was amazing, you guys.
This is good. And I did record it for
guys,
people who couldn't get on.
I wanted to say something. I'm going to put in our Facebook page, Sideline Strong, a post that we can make prayer requests because since we got home from Leaders Retreat, I know that it has flooded all of us with so much belief, and we have thoughts that keep coming to the front of our mind, what our goals are, what we want to do. So post in there your prayer requests so we can pray for each other.
Perfect. And everybody needs to be at convention, no, non-negotiable, no excuses. Convention is a must do. And from what we've heard, it's going to be amazing with the biggest product launch ever, which shocks me, but that's from the top. So
I keep telling everyone you have to be at convention because I will be 35 weeks pregnant the first day of convention and I'm going to be there. It's going to be a 13-hour drive. We're going to drive it because they're not going to let me fly. But I'm going to be real pregnant, looking like a whale, maybe in a wheelchair. So if you have a better excuse, come at me. Otherwise, you have and I told my team last night.
Yeah. And if your team is concerned on prices, I mean, like with the hotel and stuff, Airbnb, there's a few of us that are sharing an Airbnb and it is $100 per person for the entire 4 days. And we have a whole house to ourselves. So check if you can get a few people together, check out Airbnbs. Also keep an eye, Darlene, I mean, Tina, yeah, tickets are ridiculous. But keep your eye on flights. I do know that like today, some of them were less than yesterday. Thread on our bigger team that's talking about flying. I mean, we're going to drive. We're flying to Orlando, and I know some people can't, but I'm like, I will sit in a car for 11 hours instead of going through the Orlando nightmare. If you're delayed, you're not. You're back, you're forth, you're this, you're that, and spend all the masks and wearing masks. So we'll probably drive, but I mean, I do know a lot of people will be flying. But like I said, the hotel, you know, check out an Airbnb and see if a few people will split an Airbnb if cost is a, you know, obviously if it's a concern, especially if you can get any of your teammates there. But, oh, I know you can't drive. Some people are too far away, South Dakota. You had to drive 5 hours to the airport to get the leaders retreat. 5 hours to the airport and back. Yep. All right, everybody. Have an awesome, awesome afternoon. And I won't be
Love
on
you
next week. I'll be
guys.
skiing down the mountain.
Have fun.
Have
We'll
fun.
be.
Have a great time.
We will.
Bye,
Don't
guys.
break
We'll
a
be
leg.
back on.
No, I hope not. I
Thank you
haven't
for
yet.
hosting today, Karen.
Bye,
All righty,
girls.
bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.